Hey Brandon,
How does it taste?
furry's dick.
Oh boy, they create an extra pouch for their members.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Wait, what are you talking about? What?
Do furries have like an extra furry pouch
Oh.
in the front? Like to have like little, they have.
Have a little red rocket that pops out every once in a while.
Oh boy, it's got a little like stretchy opening that you can, and then you just wear a red condom. See what you wear a red condom, then you stretch yourself through the fabric.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about like the actual like when they're actually doing it. I thought you just meant at conventions. I was like, what?
I think they're always.
Like if you go to a furries convention, there's just dicks out everywhere.
I don't know. I'm just...
So there's a big stigma. Like people, a lot of people think it's like a sexual thing.
No, I know.
Like, what's
and
the
it's
actual
actually
stat?
Really popular. It's actually getting really big, I guess. There's more people talking about.
You know, for the longest time, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was literally just people going to conventions dressed like animals. I didn't know it was like it had to do with animation and stuff.
Oh well, yeah. I guess it's because the idea is that they could better represent themselves through the art, you know, opposed to paying a lot for a costume.
Right.
I think that, and it's just one of those things like in anime. Stuff works in anime. If you try to do like a live action thing, it doesn't look right.
You get a lot more freedom.
Yeah, well, like the.
And
I was just gonna say like the whole like what apparently whenever you see a drawn what's the word when you turn like an object or something into like a human, what's that?
Anthropomorphize.
When you anthropomorphize animals, apparently most of the time that's a furry thing. I thought it was just.
Nah, I wouldn't say most of the time. I don't know. Like, I mean, they do that, but to everyone, anthropomorphize. God, I can't even say it now. Anthropomorphizes animals. It's just what they do. Like, maybe the ones they don't like as much, but it's just we do that. We see
we see faces and everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna apply a persona to
well,
a lot
and
of stuff.
behaviors and all sorts of things. Why are we talking about this?
Well, welcome to Ridgeview Drive, where the furries run rampant.
What?
So what? I don't know. How many? We saw. Brandon and I went to the Vista Theater in Hollywood to see
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Right?
The name is hard to remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It actually is. Yeah, that's probably why. But
And you picked it up from a thrift store or something recently?
just a Walmart.
Checked it out.
The bargain bin.
Same thing.
All right, yeah. So yeah, we saw that. Which is actually, I love watching it any movie at that venue. We didn't watch it in, was it 35 millimeter?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys saw it in the theater. I just watched it on my computer. Kind of wish I'd go to the theater to watch it for the first time, but because this was my first viewing of it. It was the same for you guys, right? Have you seen it before?
Yes. I mean, I think I saw parts when I was a kid, but
Yeah, but that's just gone to the.
But I remember the one thing I do remember was when I watched it as a kid, I thought, this doesn't look good. It looks like one of those so bad it's good movies. But then I found out apparently what everybody says is genuinely good. But we'll get into
It's
that.
got like almost like a cult following as well now.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I feel like the movie does a lot of the tropey things on purpose, and they kind of subverts it.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it more when I thought of it like that.
Because I think he obviously did that on purpose, because you have the white, brown-haired, really muscular kind of action hero, and every time he goes to do the action, something hits him on the head, something incapacitates him. And then it's his friend, that Asian guy, that's actually the real hero of the movie.
Yeah, that's...
And so that's the whole point, was he's the trope, but obviously he doesn't know how to fight, he can't do anything, he's kind of a fuck-up, but someone else handles it and does some cool martial arts or something that's actually decently shot and choreographed.
He gets pretty progressively more bad. The sidekick dude gets more...
Wang.
Yeah, Wang gets progressively more badass as he gets through it. At first, it seems like he knows something, but he doesn't seem like he knows that much. And then at some point, he's doing flips and shit. And he's
He's the one that actually has stakes in this, because it's his girlfriend that's taken.
Yeah,
Where
man.
where
Well,
Jack.
I mean, his is Kim Cattrall, who he never met before, and all of a sudden they're best friends out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then there's love interest at one. Spoiler. But
That's what it's literally the beginning of the movie. At first she's annoyed by him, and then the very next scene she's like, "Oh, Jack!" What?
Yeah,
I thought you thought he was like a skeevy, creep.
Is that supposed to be playing on the trope a little bit?
Probably.
And
yeah.
maybe there's something that was kind of cut out that helps kind of that transition a little bit more.
Well, also, what I was gonna say though, it's obviously playing off those tropes though. Is there's that old question about at one point when you're doing an homage, or what's the other word? when you're
Rip off?
I don't know. Well, that's what I'm getting to. But when you're doing an homage or something, at one point,
Paying
do
tribute.
you become that and not actually be a satire, but you're it itself? And I think that's what I had the toughest time watching that movie. Because to me, it didn't feel like a parody of a bad movie. It just felt like a bad movie.
Yeah.
I guess there's that fine line.
Yeah, it depends because sometimes with the dialogue, it felt like it was just they're being like obvious about it, like, all right, you know, I'm the good guy, you know, we should do this, and then it was like, oh yeah, and I'm the divisive one, and I'm
the perfect ones. I was born ready, and it was like
Yeah.
the worst line delivered. Like,
Oh,
they were
there was
gonna-
like you said, like what was it? She actually literally says it almost like sounds like she's reading like the script would have said, say something this, and then like it's like she reads it out loud, like she's like, oh, you mean the sacred text that does this or that? Those were the times where I appreciated.
And then he's like, yeah, the
satire.
blah blah blah, and he's like, this is, and then they like explain everything where they need to go, and it was like, it seemed like at that point it had to be tongue in cheek, right? There's no way that was just them being bad. That it felt like it's got to be tongue in cheek.
I also heard that it's mostly ad-libbed, so
I didn't know that. Is that serious? Really? I didn't. Know
I don't know for sure. That's what I've heard.
We should definitely look that up.
Not mostly. Well, I don't know.
You're like, is that what's happening? I don't know, but I'm reporting it.
We don't see any of it, but we're reporting on it. I'd make a terrible reporter.
But we're going live to Jared out in the field. What's going on, Jared? I don't know. Thanks, Jared.
Turn my head. Oh!
Oh shit! Damn, that's crazy.
Bro, you guys seeing this?
The camera's not even pointed; it's just like off, like, and you're kind of like off frame, but not
I
all the
walk
way.
off frame. I'm like, oh my god!
It's like blurred, and you're kind of in the frame a little bit.
And then I run over and you see me adjust the camera. Obviously, it's on a tripod.
It's like a
No
shitty
camera.
tripod. Like, this is amazing. Are you guys catching this? This is a once in a lifetime thing. Oh my god, so many bodies.
Oh, you guys missed it. Well, anyway,
So I guess it depends whether or not you see it more like it's being sarcastic.
Do we need to give like a little bit more synopsis of the movie in case somebody?
Yeah, that's
doesn't remember?
probably actually.
yeah, I mean, is there much of one?
No, it's a simple premise. It's, you know, Jack, he's like this trucker, and he happens just to visit a friend in Chinatown, or Little Chinatown, or whatever it's called.
It's Chinatown in San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
Yes,
and then
that's right.
He just takes him to the airport to pick up his. He takes Wang, his Asian friend that he knows there, to pick up his girlfriend, and she gets kidnapped by these thugs or whatever.
They meant to kidnap someone else, and
Yeah,
something
and then
happens,
someone
they kidnap her
doesn't
instead.
he like intervene, and because of that, they end up grabbing the girl
Yeah.
that he was like interested in.
They
Yeah.
were originally gonna grab the girl that Kim Cattrall was there to meet.
But then they also grab
Wings.
Jack's like lady. She wasn't at first.
Oh,
but they
Kim-
grab her
Kim
because
Cattrall,
she has green eyes, and it's like
That's right, yeah.
She has
That's what it
Oh
was.
no, they didn't
It
grab.
was the jade eyes.
They don't grab her till later.
not until later.
Right,
Oh, yeah. I guess I'm mixing up some scenes then.
Oh,
But yeah, I could tell that, like, okay, they're gonna do something with her because she has obvious contacts in her eyes that changed her eye color.
Oh, yeah, now I am mixing up. Wait, who
And
is
then-
grabbed
Because
first?
that was the dumbest idea that went into my head because I was like, how did they cast her? Like, she already had green eyes. I didn't even think about it. Well, she's probably wearing contacts.
I can see those contacts like really
Yeah.
from far away. Those I can always notice those. The person that they grabbed first was Wang's girlfriend because they were gonna grab somebody else. And they kind of play it off as like it's more of like, oh, they're grabbing her for the sex trade kind of industry.
Right.
But they end up grabbing the other girl. They find out she has green eyes, and so all of a sudden she becomes a target of this other gang that all of a sudden, this is where it makes a hard switch on purpose, where they have magical powers that come out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and there's just Asian gang fights in the streets, like
Oh
massive
my
fights.
gosh.
Like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's just like out of nowhere, it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
That was a little hard
Oh,
to swallow.
the thing is funny because I always
Yeah.
knew about the fantasy part. Brandon didn't know anything
I
about
didn't
it.
either.
So when we were there, we were at the theater, and someone was there, someone was there who was actually on set, and he was talking about one of the special effects, and Brandon's like, "Oh, I didn't know this was a paranormal." I'm like, "You didn't?"
I'm like, oh, that's a spoiler.
I know. It
man.
actually would have been kind of fun to discover while watching the movie, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It wasn't. I was just like, even still when I knew, I was just like, what's going on? Why is this?
Yeah, because I didn't know either. I just thought it was just like an action flick or whatever. And then it was a hard turn. I mean, I guess you kind of have to. That's kind of hard to ease into it. They kind of do in the beginning when the guy, he like has his hands and all of a sudden he has electricity flow from each hand. That helps kind of break that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They literally start the movie with that.
So, because it's like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because that kind of thing.
He even says, "Do you believe in magic or whatever?"
Yeah.
And that's when he does the electricity from his hands.
But even still, it was like, it was like, ooh, there's some mystery, and then that just like, okay, we're just Dragon Ball Z now.
Yeah, it goes from like 1 to 11 like real quick. Because it's like when he does electricity, you're like, oh, okay, cool. There's an actual magical element. But then all of a sudden, people start, starts raining down from the sky, riding the lightning and stuff, and it's just like it's a hard switch. And there's the big, huge gang fights in just this alleyway. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like out of the cops? Not what?
Well, I mean that's the problem with the synopsis right now, because you can't really say much more until you start getting to spoilers. I mean, that's pretty much the synopsis.
Yeah.
I guess, but like, what can you really spoil from this movie?
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going through my head. Like,
It's very, very tropey.
It is, yeah. It follows right along the lines.
That's the point,
If that's
I
the
guess.
spoil,
I mean,
then
technically, I like
it's
the
a
trailer.
spoiler.
We just watched the trailer before we started this, and honestly, if you watch the trailer, it'll probably spoil.
You have the movie. You know what's
There
going
was
on.
at least one frame from every scene in that trailer.
Yeah, right?
And that's surprising because there's a lot of scenes in that trailer because it moves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
it
areas.
moves so
It just
fast.
keeps moving. They go from set
That's
to
one
set
thing
to
that I was-
set to set.
That was one of the reasons I had so much trouble with the movies, because I started getting bored because it was just moving way too fast for me.
Oh, so you were like losing investment.
Yeah, I felt like there was no plot development, there was no character development. It was just moving.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
no. Is there any character development?
I don't.
I don't
No,
know, but I don't think they planned on it.
Oh yeah, Kim Cattrall stops hating Jack immediately.
Oh yeah, that's
That's the
right.
girl with the contacts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, she had like that's not character development. That's character
Isn't that the
undevelopment.
actress?
What?
That's the name of the actress. Yeah.
So you're just saying actress versus the character.
What's
even
her
though his
character's
name's
name?
Kurt Russell. So you should be consistent.
Well, have you not watched other reviewers?
What is?
Okay.
Oh, you probably should start recording
Heard-
too.
Yeah. Thank you. Her name was Gracie. Gracie Law. Wasn't she a lawyer?
Yes.
Her name is Gracie Law.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that was.
At least
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's character is actually I felt like was a real action movie name. Jack Burton,
Yeah, and he just felt like a trucker, but in
What
what way?
if his name was Jack Trucker?
Yeah. They probably just went, no, that's too far.
But she didn't do anything that was like showed off her ability. That she was like a
Yeah,
lawyer.
that's all. They just said she's a lawyer.
Like,
Nothing
wow.
actually came off
She seemed really incompetent. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think her bad acting did good for the movie or worse for it?
I don't know.
Her acting was just awful.
Yeah.
At least, and then you have Kurt, who now I'm calling him Kurt. Well, I'm talking about the actor specifically, I guess. He was like having fun with it,
Yeah, you could
obviously.
Yeah.
I think usually those are the best combinations when you get into these B movies. You have the one that's really having fun with it, and then you have the other one that's just trying way too hard to be an actor. When you have those combinations, it usually works really well.
Yeah. For like the wrong reasons sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude even that was talking about being on the set. I think he said he met. Didn't he meet her or whatever? Kim.
Yes, he was on set on the same day as her. She said he was never there on the same day as
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I thought she said something to him, and I guess.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Like that showed her like personality in some way. Like she seemed kind of
Oh, that sounds familiar, but
like she was a little stuck up or something. Or am I just
Probably, I don't
spreading
know.
bullshit?
Slandering people all day.
Well, she was on Sex and the City, so I don't really care about her.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh, that is her. Oh shit.
Oh, I
yeah.
think they cover up her beauty mark in this movie. I tried looking for it.
They don't.
The only time I ever
insist.
saw it was when she had the white makeup on. And so I think they covered it up.
What
for
else
some
was she in?
That's all I know of is Sex and the City. And
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
that's probably true.
Probably a lot of stuff, but just as time goes, it's like that kind of stuff usually just fades away.
What are you talking about? You were in those Black Knight movies, or last night? What?
Oh, you mean what the fuck is that called? I can't think of what's called.
What's the movie? You know who played the Joker and he died?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. What was the movie that was in about a knight?
Knight's Tale. Why do we just came
you
out?
did the Knight's Tale movie.
Yeah, but
Not that one. It was like with a home video camera, and it was really bad.
Oh God, I saw
You can
that.
find it on YouTube.
it was
No,
more accurate though
don't want
than the movie Knight's Tale because that was all creative license.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with the actual Canterbury
yeah,
Tale.
right. That was
Like
all
nothing.
creative license. In fact, they met. What's his?
Wait, did they actually? Were they claiming it was based on it?
No, I don't know. I just know it's as if they met the writer of the Canterbury Tales in the movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's the guy. The guy who's like, who's talking and he's.
What guy? That's.
You know, the one who's always is introducing him, Sir Van Lichtenstein. You know, the guy who's always blah blah blah.
I don't know.
The new guy. Was it Jude Law? Is that who it was? He was the new. You didn't watch the? Did you see the movie?
Oh, you're talking about the movie.
Yeah, with Heath Ledger.
What else we done?
That's
No,
what
no, I thought you were talking about real life. That someone met the writer of Canterbury Tales.
No, I'm saying that's in the movie Knight's Tale, it's as if they met the writer of Canterbury Tales.
Oh, see, I missed that completely. I just heard. I thought you were talking about the actors and the director or something.
I think, at least. I don't know, I could be wrong.
'Cause I actually did a project for Knight's Tale in high school, but the thing is, it's kind of a lie because I didn't do it. It was a group project, and I was one of those assholes that did nothing while the other.
Oh, you were one of those.
Yeah, I was one of them. I'm
guys.
sorry. But the thing is,
You're
when
not
she
sorry.
did it, she did a slideshow, and all the pictures were from the movie. And I was like, later on, I went back, even though I couldn't say anything because I was an asshole and I didn't do anything, but I almost went, you know, that movie has nothing to do with the story we're doing a project on, right?
A lot of people really didn't.
Anyway, so tangents.
Yeah, so. Yeah, where were we?
Do you guys have like a favorite part of the movie that you thought was like good filmmaking or
I do.
bad
So
filmmaking?
we don't care about spoilers because how old is it? I think it's almost like 40 years old now.
Yeah.
Are we just
And
gonna say now?
there's not a
past
twist,
This point,
it's-
we're gonna be
Yeah, there's
saying
no
spoilers.
twist,
There's the
no-
good guys and they go find the damsels in
the only
distress.
thing that gets spoiled is just you watch it for the experience, really. You know, there's not really
Yeah.
there's not really much many plot points.
Experience.
Charles like experience.
I can experience getting stabbed doesn't mean I want that experience.
But no, there was that really cool part
Yeah,
where
the part where it was the lightning guy, right?
Yeah.
That part was actually really
in the
awesome.
sewer, I think.
Yeah, when they're like in the sewers and they like blast a hole through the ceiling, they climb through and they blast another hole through the ceiling. At that point, this guy comes with electricity at some point or whatever.
I thought it was through the floor, not through the ceiling.
Well, I mean, he comes up.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't take that character seriously because the Mortal Kombat theme just kept playing in my head as every time
Oh,
he's
see,
on
I
screen.
didn't play Mortal Kombat. I never watched people play Mortal Kombat.
Because there's a character Raiden that's based off like the Thunder God or something like that
Mm-hmm.
that wears a big rice hat looking thing and he shoots lightning and he can teleport with his lightning and because it's all based off
Oh
like a same
shit!
kind
They
of.
just ripped.
Wait, this was
Mortal
based
Kombat?
off like real mythology?
I think there is mythology there
Oh.
that there is some sort of deity that uses lightning to travel. I mean, if you look through like Greek mythology, lightning has always come from a god or something like that because people
Right.
can explain that. So, but
So wait, there were actual backstories for those magic guys? Because I missed it completely.
I don't know because I don't know anything about like Eastern kind of religions.
Well,
I
just-
don't know if these are actually based because they call them like the god of death.
Did
or-
they actually use the term gods? I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the movie they are supposed to be god, or
Yeah,
at least
I think-
demigods.
I think when they bring that kind of stuff over to the Western culture, they kind of stay away from the word God because of like a lot of religious people here
Oh,
might see that as
right.
blasphemy. So they tend to use like Lord of Thunder or Master of Thunder. But in this one, they do use the term God every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Like I think sort of. Maybe I'm misremembering, but like I almost remember the guy's name, but he's basically the god of death almost. Sort of.
In the movie?
Maybe he's not the god of death.
Which one?
The main bad guy.
Yeah,
the
I
guy
thought
that's
so.
still alive.
Oh, what the one with
Yeah.
the painted face and all
Yeah.
that? The guy that
Yeah.
was really annoying.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The actor that they always cast him as the crazy Asian guy.
Yeah.
Like the crazy older,
Oh,
like
you're right.
that ping pong movie. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah.
He's the blind master that
Yeah.
knows how to play ping pong, and he gets typecasted as the Asian guy essentially.
Oh, so they stopped using Mickey Rooney.
Mickey.
Oh, you don't know the? He did a very racist. He played an Asian guy in a movie.
Really?
Yes, total white guy. Was
Oh.
it Mickey? Yeah, because Andy Rooney is from 60 Minutes, right? So it's Mickey
Right.
Rooney. Yeah, he played. And he
Oh, didn't they have like a ton of prosthetics
Yes,
on his face?
yeah.
And they gave him buck teeth and like,
Yes,
really
yes,
shallow
they did.
eyes.
And they did it all. They did all of
Yeah. Oh my god.
it. It was really racist.
that is like the epitome of like a racist character.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
Caricature.
the closest thing you can get to blackface for other races, you know?
Yeah. In this one though, I like the actor because he's hammy.
It's true.
All of his performances, he hams up, and so this one, he's just, you know, he's like a flamboyant kind of almost
Yeah, I agree
kind of
with
god,
that works
and he's
for
trying to come back, or yeah, he's trying to be flesh and blood again. That's the main premise.
That's
of
right,
this.
yeah. He is like the main villain.
He's like 1,000 years old, and he's trying to
So
get his.
there was like him and then
body
like
back.
3 other demigods, right?
Yeah, because it's the 3 storms, what they're called.
I only remember the lightning one. I don't even remember the other 2. I don't remember.
There was the lightning one, the guy with the claws, and then the really buff guy that exploded.
Oh, what was that all about?
Spoiler alert. See, again, I don't know if it is based off of mythology, because it feels kind of like some of these fight scenes, how they end seems very like almost biblical. Like, because in the Bible, a lot of like monsters are killed in a certain way that's kind of anticlimactic. If that makes sense. So, like in this one, he sees his master dead, and he just gets so furious that he just blows up. It's a great scene, and it's so.
Oh, and also I was like, at first, as soon as it started, I went, oh! And then after it happened, I heard Brandon go, oh, or something like that, and I turned up and was like, yeah, this is the movie it's from.
Yeah.
Because you like,
'Cause
if you
I've
see it,
seen
you
that
know it. You've seen it all over the
The
internet.
big the
But
big
the
puffy
steam
face.
coming out of his nose as his
Yeah.
face is widening, and then he blows
But
up.
it was a little cheapened because as they're coming down the hallway, it's literally just a person with a bucket going with all that guts down the hall. Like it doesn't look like it exploded; it just looks like it was thrown.
Yeah, but I guess that helps with the whole, homage to
B-movie,
B-movie
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I've seen that GIF, like a video of
so many
that.
times.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was from until I saw this video. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not in touch with John Carpenter as much. I need to go through and watch his like Escape from New York and
Yeah.
L.A. But this movie, like, I didn't find it all that great, really. Like,
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool, and it was very campy. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. But at the end of it, I'm like, I don't really want to watch this again.
Yeah, I mean, I think I enjoyed it probably just a tad less than you, because I just remember there's parts where I'm like, I'm just bored. I just want this to end.
Oh, sure. I guess I can handle like really slow movies sometimes.
It was
Yeah.
okay. There was a few.
Yeah.
There was a few times I felt like it was dragging, but
Well, no, but
was
see, that's the
fun.
thing. It's the opposite of that. Like, you know how, like, a lot of times people find slow burn movies boring?
Yep.
I'm the opposite. When there's just constant shit happening constantly, that's when I start getting bored, like, when my eyes glaze over and all that shit.
Well, I think there is a big area for like a middle ground on that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. Like I can, like most people get really upset at the Transformers movies. I can watch them, but I do feel dumb when I'm watching them. I feel like my brain is just shut off and I'm just looking at blinking lights. And I enjoy it sometimes,
This will
but
make
it's
the
just.
third video in a row that we talked about Transformers. How dumb they are.
Really?
Yeah.
well, when there's
How
stuff to
dumb
talk
they are,
about-
yet I still enjoy them somewhat.
I like the first one, and like we talked about, like I do like
Yeah,
those
I
movies,
do
especially
actually
when
like
they're
the first
way
one.
over the top, like G.I. Joe. And I still need to see that.
Yeah. But Mark Wahlberg, I can't name. Okay, never mind. We'll save that for
And
another video.
Battleship, I heard a problem with it.
This
This
is
is-
an amazing movie.
There's a lot of non-actors in it because
Yeah.
they're just military personnel. So
Which probably makes it more fun to watch when you.
all right, you're
Second
right.
time we brought up Battleship.
Yeah, well, we're in the theme of big dumb action movies.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll always touch on those.
But like sticking to John Carpenter, I want to watch Escape from New York because that looks
Yeah.
like it's the same thing, except it might be a little bit more like intense, maybe more
yeah.
fun.
Well, see, I didn't know. I thought Escape from New York was like this gritty type. It turns out it's very much like this one. It's silly. It's got 80s action cliches.
Yeah.
And apparently it's technically, again, not a great movie. Like, it's close to B-movie territory, which is weird to me. Because when I think John Carpenter, I think these great movies, Halloween, The Thing, The Thing, that is what you would call gritty, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, stuff like that. There was like,
Well-
no goofiness in The Thing. There's no... Same with Halloween. Now, wait, was John Carpenter, did he do Scream?
I don't think.
No, that's Wes Craven.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, because John Carpenter, I feel like they put his name on movies like really prominent. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that's Wes Craven who did Scream.
Well, is that just his thing? Is like he likes the B movie genre, and so he wanted to make B movie horrors, but they actually turned out better than what he was like trying to do.
I don't know. I haven't aside from Big Trouble now. I still haven't seen any of those types, the B movie types. I've just seen, you know.
Because if you stick to the B movie like trope with monster movies, it's just about how the monster kills people. That's what's the like, silly, goofy part.
Right.
But that is horrifying in his kind of movies because it's been a while since I've seen any of those, but from what I remember, it was pretty gruesome, and that was kind of the point.
Wait, you think he was trying to emulate classic monster B movies when he made The Thing?
Maybe.
Because
but it just turns out
when
really
I watched
fucking
that movie,
serious.
I don't think anything like that. It just
Well, maybe that's why it just worked, because that's what he was trying to emulate, but he was trying to do it in a more serious tone.
Right.
And it worked that way. Whereas now he's trying to do action movies, and he's like, oh, you know, they're supposed to be campy, and so it doesn't really translate the same.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching a bunch of John Carpenter movies again.
I'd love to just marathon some of his stuff. Great director. Should we go ahead and just talk about recommendations then?
Yeah.
I would really only recommend this movie for what if you just like action movies from the 80s, like good or not, I would say definitely check this out. You'll probably enjoy it. But especially if you don't like action movies from the 80s, where I tend to fall, this movie is not for you like at all.
Yeah, I would say watch it once. It was an enjoyable experience,
once,
but it's just not like intriguing to go back. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Cool. It does some cool things. With the main hero, it's constantly, almost to a fault, subverting your expectations. He's not this infallible badass. He's, you know,
right? Yeah.
He shows up with a gun. He's all ready to fight, and a rock comes and hits him in the head. He gets knocked out for the whole fight.
Oh yeah, he shoots the ceiling.
Oh yeah, that's right. Trying to be a badass.
Okay. It was dumb. It was goofy, but I liked that.
So if you like subversion, you can check out this movie for that. But it's still like.
Is it good to watch from like a filmmaking standpoint, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think just for those characters.
Also, like I guess if you want to see like low budget type, you know, look. I don't know if it was actually low budget or not. But the low budget look, like the guy exploding and
yeah,
and throwing the guts, you know, stuff like that.
And just like some of the sets, they felt like they were trying to be low budget, but you can tell there's budget to them.
Well, that's
like
one thing I know that this movie
and
tends to be praised for is that. Because one thing, like, a lot of times you get bored of a movie when it just takes place in the same set constantly. Yeah. There is no same set here. It's a different set throughout the whole movie. It just moves constantly. And I appreciated that. I just wish they stayed in one set just for a little bit longer every now and then.
I think the longest they were...
Just develop a little bit of plot.
Like essentially have, like, a big set, and then they move through some tiny little sets, and then a big set for a while.
Yeah.
So that way, it's like you still have that movement of, like, it's an adventure. They're going and doing something.
But sometimes you just want to...
You need that pause.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly at 11 the whole time, second time I made that reference.
You just want to take in what's going on.
It's hard to. Your brain can't really process it. You need those moments to kind of slow down. So that way, when it does ramp up, it's different. It's not the same thing throughout the whole movie.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it boring, kind of, for me, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because your brain can't.
It's changing so much. It's almost like it's not changing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you need juxtaposition. You need that contrast. Would you recommend it, Brandon, or?
Yeah, I think it's a fun movie. I mean, it's not like you're not gonna be paying to see this anyway, so I don't. You know, it's just if you like John Carpenter and you like fun action movies that are kind of silly, not taking itself too seriously.
Not taking itself seriously at all.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah, there you go. Then sure. Yeah, I think it's decent enough.
Just one big old meh.
I really didn't have much to say
from
about
all
this.
of us.
Yeah, I know. I really thought I was gonna have more to say, but I think that's the problem. Is it just was it? You know, it's like like I was gonna say, the part that everyone was like super excited about and like cheered in theaters when, you know, what's his? I can't even fucking.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Jack. Can you throw? I think I don't know what it is. Is it
tomahawk? The bad guy throws what is like a morning star or not a morning star?
I think it was just a knife, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it
was just a dagger.
and he throws that Jack. The Jack just catches it, immediately throws it back.
And it like goes straight in his forehead or something.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's okay.
It was set up.
I was completely unimpressed by that moment. But
Yeah, that's
everyone in
how
the
I
theater
felt.
was super like
Well, because
people stood up.
that was the moment that was set up multiple times in that movie, where like he can't do anything on purpose, and his tagline, if he has a tagline, it's all in the reflexes, and so people, whenever they do something and it happens real fast, he can react real quick.
I missed that completely.
Like when Wang in the beginning, and you saw this in the trailer, he's like, oh, I'll bet you that I can cut this bottle in half. He goes to cut the bottle, but it just flings at him, and he just catches
That's
it.
actually
It's
what
it's
I was
all
going to
in the
ask. I was
reflexes.
going to ask, what was that all about? I see,
That
it
was
was
a setup.
setting up that. Okay, I completely missed.
That's
all
the
of
only
that.
thing he was good at. All right.
Yeah, but
It's
then he's
not
the
as
big
developed,
hero,
but it's,
and
what
even
he-
though Wang
all
did
that.
all the work, he's the big
Yes.
hero.
Yeah,
But they play
fucking
into that.
everything.
It's like Jack wasn't taking credit. He helped along the way, and then he talks to Wang, and he's like, "Yeah, we really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we?" So it's like a buddy. Like it's supposed to be just Kurt Russell, but it's him and that other actor. Ooh, I wish I remembered his name. But
What I would say with, like I said, there's no character development or anything. But I would say it's like they have like character, what do you call it, like changes, but like, it doesn't develop. It just suddenly it's just there.
Oh.
Like first off, like I said, I already forgot what was Kim Cattrall's character's name.
Gracie Law.
Gracie. She at first she like it seems like she thinks Jack is a skeevy creep. And all of a sudden they're best friends. And then that way for a while, and all of a sudden in the sewer scene, they're just making out. And I'm like, what? There was sexual tension there? I missed that.
Yeah, because the whole point is like it's an action movie. He's supposed to get the girl,
Right.
But there was no transition to that.
There was no sexual tension or anything. It was just
That's what I felt like with Wang. They didn't really set it up to show how much he knew.
Yeah.
It just showed that he could hold his own, and then towards the end of it, it's almost like he was powering up like Dragon Ball Z to the point where he had Super Saiyan level 3, and he was like, all right. And
Speaking of his character, one thing that I can't decide whether I think it's brilliant or not, or just really dumb, was it was actually annoying me at first when he just knew like everything about the culture. Jack's, what's going on now? And he would just explain it, and I'm like, how do you know all this stuff?
Well-
That's that gang, and that's that gang, and they're about to have this exact specific fight.
Well, because it's like I called them gangs, but they actually weren't gangs.
Well, they called them gangs in the movie, didn't they?
Well, because because see, this is where my knowledge of Eastern kind of religions kind of falls short. It felt like a lot of that stuff was some sort of religion. Like it was, stories passed down over time, and it's like, oh, these guys in all white, they're the good guys. I know of them, and then these guys, they work for essentially the devil, and they want to kill them and take over the place and stuff. So it's like I totally I was like, okay, I accepted that. It was just some sort of religion. I don't know. It might not even be real at all.
Right. Yeah.
Because it might be like maybe on purpose it's a bastardization of like
Right.
Eastern religion, but
But it also seemed like a lot of the stuff he knew, like, I mean, okay, he lived there, so I guess I can't really complain. I was gonna say that it was very specific to just that area, and not just Chinatown, but that corner, of
that
where they
specific
were.
alley.
Yeah, that exact alley. Like he knew everything about that alley, even though he didn't want to be there, and he apparently had never been there before.
and the
it was-
Storm guys just came in and just undid everything that was going on.
Yeah, that was weird because there was like this whole funeral march, and then there's a gang battle, and then the gods come, and it's like, okay, well, then what was the point of all that?
Wait,
And they all teamed up together against the God people.
Yeah. The two rival gangs teamed
Is
up
that
to
what
fight the demigods.
Okay.
Do you remember that part?
I don't know. So yeah, I guess the big thing about this movie is this stuff happens, and
Yeah,
there's not.
It's stuff happens. In the
If there
movie.
is a transition to it, it's very tiny, or it's just a hard cut to the next thing, and
To a lot of film buffs, we're committing major blasphemy right now.
Fuck 'em.
This is considered a cult classic.
Fuck
I
'em.
just don't get it.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
welcome Ridge. Let me try that again.
Drive you Ridge.
Welcome Drive Your Ridge. Fuck 'em.
I'll start the next one.
Just across all your branding, that's it. It's just your tagline.
Ridge you drive.
Just fuck them.
Yeah, there you go.
So, anything else to say about this movie?
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I think this is a good final words. To fuck him.
All right.